There's like 5 representatives on that committee.
Get it to a
How about we limit to 4 for one representative and 5?
I tried to do that, and Representative McCarthy wanted to know a reason why he couldn't be on the committee. I guess anybody can attend the meetings. It's open to the public. We didn't originally have him on the committee. But if you think somebody else should be on the committee, and if you've got some ideas from the general public, would be glad to accept them.
I just think it's a good call.
I think so,
Member
too.
of the public on any taxpayer funded project.
Absolutely, but you don't want a committee that's too unwieldy, the size. But you're absolutely right, it should be open to somebody else.
Any further input from the public? Yes?
I would just like to know the budget that the commissioners prepared to operate the county for the next year. What was the percentage increase over last year?
The operating budget, or to be increased by, be raised by taxes?
The total budget.
Over what was budgeted last year or what was spent?
I guess
$26,566,549 was the proposal that was made by the commissioners back the first week of December.
Okay.
What was that, Dave?
$26,566,549. 26566,549.
What was your proposed budget?
That was an increase of 14%.
Over what?
Last year's adopted budget.
And the increase in health insurance was?
We budgeted 10%, but we don't know that final figure. I mean, it could be 18%. That comes due the 1st of July, I believe. The unemployment, which was a tremendous jump, the increase was $20,000 in unemployment item on the budget because of the situation that we're in. DEAS was $195,000, which we have little control over. Insurance was $200,000, and unemployment was $20,000.
Health insurance.
Health insurance, a little over $200,000. I think it was $206,000. Keep in mind that the insurance committee met with Primex, a company that covers us, and they are paying out over 100% of the, Henry, it's 106?
108.
108.
Basically, the insurance company is losing money on this.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Okay, my second question is, that was your proposed budget, and then from that, we have a surplus. That surplus is being returned as it should be to the taxpayers to decrease their obligation to the county.
Yep.
And that amount is the amount you spoke of in the beginning, which was?
2.5 million.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Now, how do we make up that 2.5 million? It was what was left over from last year's expenses. We didn't expend roughly 700,000, and the income, the revenue, was 1 point something. And then we did take out
Plus 23,000 from the cooperative pension return.
no, that's not included in there.
Oh.
That's capital. We took out $100,000 out of surplus, 100,000 plus to make up to the two. Out of surplus, meaning the surplus that has been generated over a number of years is like $3 million.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, that's for a
Yeah.
case of an emergency. And the delegation in the past has taken out anywhere from 200,000 to 800,000. So that would leave a balance of about 2,800,000 and some thousand left in that reserve surplus. Okay?
David, don't we
I
have to?
commend the commissioners for their efficiencies and for the good management of our county budget. Thank you.
We don't get very many good things said about us, so we appreciate that.
Very much so.
Don't we have to maintain 10% of our, if you recommend or approved budget as surplus at all times?
I'm not sure if it's that high, but it's close to that. It's just a recommendation
Oh, it's
from
10% for
auditors.
3 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Or it's worth.
Depending on which representative you talk with, we don't have to follow any of those guidelines.
The slush funds.
Mr. Commissioner, what was your proposed budget at 26,566, 549? What was that compared to what was actually spent last year? Do you know?
Well, you take 22,594,572.91 from that, and that will give it to you.
594,
572,
572.
91 cents. Take that.
I think we can live without the 91 cents in this budget. So it's roughly $4 million. Your proposed budget was roughly $4 million over what we actually spent the year before.
If that's
22 from 26 is 4.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind that 2 million of that is the bond for the new.
Oh, that's included in that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes a difference.
That's included in it, 195 DEAS, 200,000 insurance.
Well, I knew that was.
20,000?
I thought you had made some mention last, that the figure was outside of the
That-
bonding.
No, no,
Representative
that's the
Chandler.
total budget.
So you're basically, if you really want to be fair, it's roughly $2 million or a little less over.
Right.
Over what you spent last year.
Over what we spent.
Comparing apples to apples.
Yep. Any additional questions or comments from the public? I hope we're being fair in trying to explain our budget. A lot of, as I said earlier, a lot of time has been spent on this budget, starting way back in last part of September, October, working with department heads to come down to our budget where we thought it should be. And so I don't think there should be any complaints about the amount of time that the commissioners as well as the department heads have done with the budget. The delegation can take that under consideration, or they don't. They're not obligated to time. They're obligated to make sure that the taxpayers are fairly treated. And I will say, and I've said many times in any public meeting that I go to, that one of the hottest jobs of a county commissioner is trying to balance what we feel our employees need to receive to get a decent wage to make a living, and also at the same time try to look at what the taxpayers can afford to pay. That's the hottest decision I think the commissioners have. Much.
Yes. Monday, 28th, at 9 a.m.
March 28th?
I'm gonna post it.
No,
Oh,
it's
28th.
25th.
So it's Monday at 9 o'clock,
Okay.
as put out by
Yeah.
Karen Unberger, clerk. So, make sure it gets on the website. Okay, anything else to be brought up for the meeting this morning? If not, we will go into non-public session, if I could get a motion for legal